But I grabbed Verlander. I said, hey, don't take this for granted. I know it's your rookie year. I know you think you're going to be here every year. But nothing's guaranteed in Major League Baseball. There's so many things that have to go right. I don't care how good your payroll is. I don't care how great your players are. Guys have to have career years. Guys have to be healthy to get to the World Series. This is my 9th year in the big. This could be the only time I'm ever here. Do not take this for granted.
And I'm in love with this good life. Can't give it up. Make it to the top. Keep climbing. I wanna live it up. The good life. I'm coming up. I'm coming up. The good life. Good life. Oh, good life. Good life. Good life.
Boom! Coming in hot, kid. You with some hot takes, brother. What's up?
You know your sports team had a good night when you didn't drink a sip of alcohol and you wake up the next morning feeling like you're hungover. And that's how you hear my voice, dude. You and I were on like 9 hours ago live.
I know, dude. Well, the energy, right? You were at Citi Field. Kids, tell me what that was like, man, because, you know, when I've seen the videos, but it's one of those moments where you're like, man, I wish I was there because the video never does it justice. What was it like when Lindor hit that grand slam?
It's the poeticism of it was that the Mets kept getting runners on base the whole game. Carlos Mendoza said this last night in a postgame. He's like, we just kept going. We just kept going. Oh, my goodness. And Howie Rose's call is what it was like to be there. He said something, I'm paraphrasing. It was so poetic. Go listen to Howie Rose's call of the Lindor home run.
Who's the Mets radio broadcaster, right?
Yeah. You know what? Screw it. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to play it right now because it is that good. Give me 1 second. Why don't you vamp here for a second while I find this?
I know what I heard the call was. It was so I know he said a phrase. He said something like,
yes, we got to play it. Here we go.
Done it again, or
it had something to do with eating and being hungry.
Swinging a drive towards the gap in right center. It's pretty deep. It's back near the wall. It's gone. It's gone. Francisco Lindor. He may have just outdone himself. He has hit a grand slam into the Phillies bullpen in right center field. The Mets are leading by a score of 4-1. They were famished for the big hit all night, and Francisco Lindor just provided a feast.
Dude, who thinks of that stuff?
They were famished for the big hit all night, and Francisco Lindor just provided a feast. That's what he said.
So great, dude. Nice job, Howie. That's
where the stress, the buildup, the anticipation, and knowing, oh my God, you're going to go back to Philly if you lose this game. To face Wheeler. It was a loss. If they didn't win that game, I think the Phillies are going to the next round. Yeah. So, yes, so that's what it was like there last night. Amazing comp this morning by Boomer Esiason on WFAN. 2007 New York Football Giants. Didn't have the greatest record. They had a horrible start to their season. Not backed into the playoffs, but got into the playoffs, played every playoff game on the road, and Eli Manning played like the 4 greatest games of his career. I think Lindor is kind of like the Eli Manning, even though he's comparably probably a better player than Eli Manning in his sport. But that's the feeling. It's like, holy cow. Like this Mets team could maybe beat the Dodgers or could maybe beat the Padres just because of that thing that's going on, right? Yeah, that thing you guys have in sports that you can't put on paper and then we can't analyze.
There's something happening with the Mets, that magical run. You know, you can't put your finger on it, but you're like, man, something great's happening here. They're finding ways to win. New guys are doing things because if you go back and look at that series, it was Vientos, Alonso. Lindor was just a role player up to that point. I felt like, he had a couple singles, scored some runs, played some great defense. Now, don't get me wrong. He's still Lindor. He's going to win you ball games every night doing what he does. But you were waiting for him to get that big hit. You're waiting for that and that maybe a home run, type situation. But for him to hit a grand slam, dude, like that's another level. It really is another level. And you go back to the game, the first 2 innings, dude, they got bases loaded. I think they had base loaded, no outs. bases loaded, 1 out, and they got nothing. Donut. Suarez got out of a couple punch outs. Iglesias, JD Martinez, and then navigated through. So for Lindor to come through there, dude, that would have been. Yeah. You're right. It would have been tough to look back at that game and see if they lost that game with all the opportunities they had, and they got to go to Philly Game 5. But you know what? At the end of the day, Chinch, they don't need to go to Philly Game 5. They're going to NLCS. Mendoza working his magic again. His post-game speech was incredible to the team. It was so
I almost cried. You must have almost cried, or maybe cried because you're friends with him.
Yeah, it was just great. It was just great. And I love at the end, he's like, and to the fans out there, like, keep believing. Keep believing. Because, dude, I think there's something about Mets fans. Mets fans, even like seeing Mark Kaiaffa yesterday getting ready to go to the game. Like, guys that, all the Mets fans walking around MLB Network yesterday, like, my buddy Alex Battaglia, who's a big Mets. All the Mets fans. There's something like, oh man, they're nervous because they're like, oh, we're gonna lose tonight, or are we gonna win? Just to see the joy in Citi Field last night of them winning that game was really cool.
Listen, I honestly think, I know it's New York, but it's house money right now. How many people come up to you about the '99 Reds? How many people? Yeah. How big is that? How much does that team mean? It means so much. And the heart you guys had is what makes that '99 team everybody's favorite. Yeah. This team has shown this year they have had the heart, and this will be a forever Mets team, even if they lose all 4 games in a row next series.
Right,
I will say that. Yeah. And that's in New York, dude. That's not an easy thing to say, but this team has given this city a lot. Now, wait, you mentioned the Dodgers. We have not – I can't believe we're saying this. Shohei Ohtani, New York, Los Angeles Dodgers. We're not talking about them enough. You said that before we came on. Why are we not talking about them enough, and what do you want to say?
Well, I think when you're watching this series, the Padres have been so good, and then some of the stuff that happened in LA, and you're thinking that all the guys that are hurt, the Gavin Stone and Clayton Kershaw and Glasnow and that whole Yamamoto hasn't been great, and all that stuff. I think you're like, oh, the Dodgers, they just not figuring it out. They're going to lose again, and all of a sudden, they're like, they had a team meeting before the game in Game 4, and they're like, let's get it together, boys. Let's punch back. Like, we're getting punched right now by everybody. And Doc Roberts got the boys together, and they all got together and said, let's punch back. And they punched back early. Dylan Cease was going on 3 days rest, and they came out and started just throwing haymakers. Betts with a big one. Here comes Ohtani with an RBI single. Before you know it, the Padres were down 5-0 in a hurry, right? And then all of a sudden, the Dodgers won 8-0, but they did it with a bullpen game. They did it with the bullpen, got together and said, if you need us, Doc, we're going to go be shut down all night long. And they were, man. They shut down the Padres. And now it's 2-2. So let's not forget, the Dodgers are the Dodgers, dude. Ohtani, Betts, Freeman didn't even play. Freeman was out of that game. He's probably going to play in Game 5, I would think. But at the end of the day, dude, the Dodgers are still one of the best teams in the game. They proved it to all of us last night by coming out with a statement game to get this to Game 5 and to send a message. And, the job that Dave Roberts has done this year is probably one of his best managing years of his career. I mean, all the injuries that they've had, that rotation's been in flux all year. He's really had to know how to navigate that bullpen. Betts was down for a few months. They've really had some ups and downs. Max Muncy missed a ton of the year. Gavin Lux a little bit at the beginning. Betts was playing shortstop, and there was a lot of stuff, a lot of moving parts for the Dodgers. So we got to give a ton of credit to Dave Roberts, Andrew Freeman, those guys in that front office. This team sent a huge statement in that Game 4 is that we are the big dogs here too, and we're going to punch back. And now we go to a Game 5. So it's going to be exciting, man. Padres, Dodgers, back to L.A. for all the marbles.
Case, what's that lid you got on right there?
Dude, you kidding me? It's my favorite hat. You know me, Chinch. I'm a hat snob, dude. I really am. This is my new melon hat. I've had it for a few months now, dude. It's incredible. It's super comfortable. The one thing I love about it, too, sometimes you wear hats all the time. They get those sweat stains. This hat doesn't get a sweat stain. It's got unbelievable comfort fitting. It fits perfectly with the snapback on the back. It's 5 times more durable, I think, than any other hat I've ever had. So, man, this hat's incredible. The Melon hat, man. You got to get a couple of these, brother.
Yeah, dude, I've heard about him. It's like the most premium, durable headwear in like the whole world. And, people use them for tailgating, working out on a golf course. You're going golfing later today, heading out for date night with Sarah. You throw the Melon cap on, right? Am I right?
I wear it for everything, dude. The only thing I can't wear it to is premium restaurants where they're like, okay, you got to take your hat off. So other than that, I'm wearing my Melon hat pretty much everywhere. Dude, it's my new favorite hat. I've been wearing my Melon hat for the past few months straight, dude. No sweat stains, what I said, no smell. Looks the same as the day I took it out of the box. I get a ton of compliments on it every time I wear it. It's even better. They have different options for different weather. If it's warm out or it might be jumping in the pool, lake, or ocean, you need their Hydro Collection, bro. The Hydro Collection is next level, Chinch. You'd love that. But when it gets cold and you need to stay warm, don't worry, brother. Melon has you covered there as well. They have a full thermal collection with different levels of warmth to keep you on whatever you need for when the winter's coming up, brother. Big time.
Nice.
So if you're looking for hats as tough as you, my man, check out Melon. You won't wear anything else after you get one on for yourself. And I know I've been loving my Melon.
Yeah, listen to Sean Casey, folks. If you're looking for the world's most durable hat, look no further. Go to melon.com. That's MELIN.com and put it to the test yourself.
Yes.
Lest we also not forget that Dave Robert was not only part of, but an integral player in the greatest comeback in world's ALCS history, but basically baseball history, on the 2004 Red Sox. Stole the base that scored the run that beat the Yankees. So
and dude,
he knows how to be back against the wall better than anybody in the world. And by the way, his manager back then was Tito.
Tito, dude. By the way, dude, we got to see if we can get Tito on next week.
Please.
I'll reach out to him because we got to see what he's thinking about Cincinnati. But also, too, I don't know if you've seen the trailer coming out October 23rd.
Yes, Netflix. I saw people talking about it on International
Red
Talk.
Sox on Netflix. That's going to be awesome, dude.
That looks hot. Big time hot. All right. Here's another tale of two stories right now, okay? Probables in today's playoff games.
Wait, really quick. Let's touch on the Yankees win last night.
Okay, let's talk about the win, and then we're going to talk about today's game. Go ahead.
Just really quick. I mean, Yankees with a big win last night, dude. Giancarlo Stanton stepping up. Really stepping up, man. It was great to see Big G. Dude, he's one of the most prolific home run hitters in postseason history.
He's a Hall of Famer in my
in postseason history. We forget about how good Big G is. So, hats off to Big G. Hats off to Booney for working the bullpen the way he did. Clark Schmidt gave him, 4 2/3 innings.
Folty with one of the biggest defensive plays we've seen in playoffs in the last couple years. Costas was like, Costas missed the ball.
No, Volpe diving play, catches it.
He did have a great read. He's getting crap for that, but Costas goes, he had a better read on that ball than I did. Which is great.
Yeah, Volpe was great, man. Just excited for those guys to get that win 3-2 and, trying to close that out in Kansas City. But when you watch the Royals right now, it just doesn't seem like they have the firepower in that lineup.
No, that was the game they should have won last night.
They had to find a way to win that game. And,
their ace.
The Yankees, and don't let the Yankees find a way and all of a sudden let
no, and then all of a sudden they're dominating. Now, again, listening, ran some errands early this morning. Everybody's like, Garrett Cole, you better have a big game today. This is why we pay you. Like all these, jabroni fans. As I say that with all love because they're probably my cousins. And
it's your dad. It's your dad. Your dad and your brother.
Garrett Cole. Yeah. Garrett Cole, you better step up. You suck this year. Like, that's what's going on. So this is one of those for Cole versus Waka. What's your take? I bet he shoves it. I bet he throws a one-hitter today.
I think Garrett Cole's going to be on, man. I really do. I think he was a little shaky in game one, but I think you don't see Garrett Cole go 2 games in a row where he's a little shaky. He's going to make some adjustments. He knows probably exactly what he needs to do. He knows exactly what his game plan is. He's been thinking about it for days, probably not even sleeping. And Big G, Garrett Cole will be ready to go tonight. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah. And on the flip side, have you ever lived in a world where every day you look at a playoff schedule and every day, I'm looking at it right now, Sean, Detroit's pitcher right now is TBD. They don't have they don't start pitchers and they are in the driver's seat. We mentioned it last night. You talk about not give an F factor. Detroit is playing with house money. Every single thing they do is fine. I mean, they had a player, Intentional Talk had, I forgot who it was yesterday, but just chill. Oh, we're having a great time. We're just having a good time. We're young guys. We're playing.
They
We're
don't
playing.
know any better. They're like, hey.
They don't.
This happens
Yes. Ignorance is bliss. Ignorance is bliss for the
I
Detroit.
remember in '99, dude, when we went to game 163 and we lost to the Mets. I remember thinking to myself, it was my first full season in the big leagues, second year. I remember thinking, I was like 25. I was like, bro, we'll be here every year. And I didn't go back till it wasn't my 9th year in the big leagues till I got to the postseason with the Tigers. And I remember pulling Justin Verlander and Curtis Granderson aside when we were headed to the World Series. It was a workout day. I remember pulling both aside at separate times. But I grabbed Verlander. I said, hey, don't take this for granted. I know it's your rookie year. I know you think you're going to be here every year. But nothing's guaranteed in Major League Baseball. There's so many things that have to go right. I don't care how good your payroll is. I don't care how great your players are. Guys have to have career years. Guys have to be healthy to get to the World Series. This is my 9th year in the big leagues. This could be the only time I'm ever here. Do not take this for granted. And I remember Verlander a couple years ago, I think in the 2017 World Series, he brought back that quote. He said, I remember Sean Casey telling me in 2006 World Series, don't take this for granted. And he goes, and I never have. And I've always remembered that, him telling me that. And I appreciate that because guys like the Tigers are so young, you think this is always going to happen. And like I'm here to tell you, I thought the same thing with the Reds. It wasn't until 9 years later I got in. So for anybody, I mean, look at Shohei Ohtani. This is his 7th year in the big. It's the first time we're seeing him in postseason play. For everybody that's a baseball fan that's watching these guys or loving these teams, this Mets team or whoever you're rooting for, appreciate that your team's here because it's not easy to get there and it's sure as hell not easy to win the whole thing.
Wow. That gave me chills. First of all, I'm going to find that clip, by the way, of Verlander saying that, which is awesome. But yeah, man, hey, it's the whole, if I knew then what I know now that the old man, barking at clouds says to you, it's so true. It's so true. You don't know what you have till it's gone.
So true.
Live in this moment. All of these teams in here right now. You got, look, who do we have left? We have Cleveland. We have Detroit, 2 great cities. We have the Yankees. We have Kansas City. We have the Mets. We have the Padres. We have the Dodgers. Everybody who's watching this stuff right now, we're witnessing one of the best playoff runs in overall baseball history. So even us as fans, let's just enjoy it. Let's enjoy
Really quick, I think of the story of the old fish and the 2 young fish in the water. That old fish is swimming through the water. He's having a great day, and he's enjoying everything that's happening. He swims by his 2 young fish. Hey, boys, how we doing? Water's nice today, right? It's so warm, and checking out all the colors in here. What an incredible day. Enjoy the water, boys. And these 2 young fish, they look at the guy, the old fish, and he swims off. They both swim off, and as they're swimming, the young fish turns to the other young fish and says, what's water? Right? It's the truth. It's the truth, man. Yeah. As you get older, you really start to appreciate the present moment and the things that life's all about, and the everyday stuff for your family and even your job more, and how you might sit here at this moment as we're talking, like, man, this is a great time with Chinch. I love being with him. He's a great friend. We love this podcast. The moments become greater. But as a young whippersnapper, which we all were, you're just rolling. You're full of piss and vinegar, and here you go, and you're running around, and you don't even stop to know that that you're in water, that the moment is big and the moment is real, and every day is just a bunch of moments, and you don't really appreciate that till you get older. So hopefully these young bucks in these series right now, they're all stepping back to appreciate the water and know that this doesn't come around all the time.
Well, I appreciate Sean Casey. I hope you folks listening appreciate Sean Casey. This guy gives me motivation every damn day. So that's a perfect way to walk out on, bro. I appreciate you, man.
Love you, brother. I'm so glad I'm so happy for you and Jess, man. I'm so excited, and Mendy and all those guys, man. Just a cool thing. And dude, I'm looking forward. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be back in the mayor's office tomorrow. Head back
Let's
home
go.
today. And love you, brother. Have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you later.